Bonus video, bonus video. Oh my god, it's a bonus video. Welcome back. I decided to make two today to make up for the fact that I didn't have some earlier in the week. Today, we are going to be making ourselves a tier list. It's not really a tier list as much as it is kind of a sorting list of what Clash Royale cards, or what subjects Clash Royale cards would prefer. Now the thing is, okay, if the card has multiple of something, like Barbarians for example, we're just considering the single troop, okay? Buildings and such cannot count, so let's see, can I... Okay, welcome to the video. Our word of the day, by the way, is collude. To collude is to work with others secretly, especially in order to do something illegal or dishonest. Collude is also used as a synonym of conspire and plot. Let's get started. Three Musketeers. I feel like, just like the Musketeer vibe gives me like French vibes, and I feel like language fits the Musketeer the best. You know, I feel like either that or like maybe math, but I feel like language just fits. Archer Queen? I don't know. Probably math. Maybe... I don't know, probably math. I'm feeling like, you know, like the logical, calculated side, right? Same thing with the archers, that's kind of what I was feeling with math as well. Arrows cannot learn. Baby dragon is definitely lunch, bro. It's not a subject, but like, look at him. He's drooling. He just looks like he wants to gobble everything up. Balloon. We gotta consider the one in the balloon. Probably science, you know? He's like chucking bombs down there. Bandit? Probably gym dude. Like, imagine that like 100-yard dash time. Are you serious? This we'll just consider to be the Barbarians. It's a spell, so here they are. Definitely gym. They're like the brawny meatheads, you know what I mean? Spell, bats. I don't know. This is a weird one. Maybe lunch, because they like swarm things and just go yum 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 yum. Yeah, they seem pretty hungry. Battle Healer is also giving me, I don't know, actually, you know what? Battle Healer is giving me like history vibes. I don't know why, maybe it's because she's like dressed in that knight armor. Because she's kind of got that chainmail on her, you know what I mean? Something about it's giving me history. Berserker's definitely lunch, bro. She's gonna get her cheese sticks and milk cartons. Bomber, again, kind of like the balloon, same thing. Science. Boss, bandit. Maybe also gym. You want to win the crown for me? I mean, dude, she's got a whole lot of health. Now, bowler is probably either gym or lunch. Haven't found anyone that I feel like is like math. Or, I mean, ELA yet. This guy's like, again, like super buff. These two cannot participate. These three cannot participate. Dark Knight. I feel like he'd be into Edgar Allan Poe. You know, let's, oh, what is happening? Okay, okay. Where did I put him? There he is. I feel like he would be like a poet. Like edgy, kinda, you know? Dart Goblin? Maybe... I don't know. What do we think about Dart Goblin? Language? I feel like Dart Goblin is kind of like the character that's always in those cartoon shows that like nobody can understand. You know what I mean? Like Stewie from Family Guy, or what is it, Glep from Smiling Friends. Like, I feel like he would be a language student. Earthquake, elite barbarians. Maybe history. They seem like they're into that Viking stuff, you know what I mean? Electro Dragon. Again, I think this and Electro Giant. Again, we're missing with the electricity. I feel like that's just a no-brainer. Science, right? Same thing with Electro Spirit. E-Golem. I mean, E-Golem is like what I see on some of my students' like trays after lunch is over and they mix all their stuff together. So, again, scientific electricity, right? Executioner. He's kind of edgy, but I also feel like, again, the Executioner vibe. I don't know. I feel like he would be Jim too. But I feel like that doesn't accurately represent his character. Maybe Math, right? I feel like Magic Archer is also probably going to go here because, again, like the whole thing about Executioner is he likes to be lining things up. So he's got to get that like trajectory set in stone. Not Musketeer, Firecracker. She's really annoying. I mean, I feel like she's the kind of person to be like, well, actually, on page 75, I think you forgot that so-and-so does this and says this. Like, she would be the one that, like, really close reads and, like, corrects you. Fire Spirit, I think, just straight up cannot have a favorite, because he just explodes. I mean, E-Spirit does too, but... Well, let's just pretend like he doesn't. What would he prefer? Or she? We don't really know. Fire Spirit's probably... I think the Spirit is also science. You know? Kind of like a chemical reaction. Fisherman, I'm gonna put him in language right now. Yeah. Because again, he's like a mariner, right? He sails abroad. Maybe. I mean, he's a fisherman, so maybe not, but... Assuming he, like, trades and stuff, right? Flying Machine cannot. Freeze cannot. Furnace. Let's pretend like this is the character Furnace. Science, right? Royal Ghost is definitely history. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Definitely history. Either that or English. He's technically, I think, inspired by the ghost of King Hamlet. Actually, yeah, I think he fits the English category. Giant. Again, I think most of the giants will be in Gym. However, Skeleton Giant. Nah, he's also, I mean, like, he goes like, brah, you know what I mean? So, he's got the bomb, though, you know, maybe science, but again, I think he's more of a, kind of like a meathead. Goblins. This is all of them together, dude. Goblin Gang is literally like some of the lunch tables in the cafeteria. So, that's a no-brainer. Goblin Giant, probably Jim. Ignoring the Spear Goblins, probably Jim. Let's consider the Goblin Brawler, right? Jim, again, that's also a no-brainer. This guy's giving science vibes with his dynamite and stuff. He's got his whole contraption, you know. Machine. Goblin Machine. Now we have to consider it's not just a machine, it's like a baby, right? But they're really, really smart. That's what we know about the goblin babies. So, like, maybe also science with a rocket in the mech suit, right? They would have to construct that. So they would probably prefer that kind of thing, like robotics and stuff, you know? Goblin Stein. Again, science. He's Victor Frankenstein, okay? like normal goblins, they're greedy. They like gold. Jim. Again, I feel like just like the Goblin Gang, right? Like, they're just kind of mischievous. And I feel like they would just want to eat. They're the ones that are like, hey, do you have a snack? You know? Golden Knight is also giving history. I feel like Knight, once we get there, is also going to be history. Golem? Jim, I guess? I don't know about Golem. That one's a bit weird. These guys are definitely also history. Heal Spirit. Now, I don't know if I would put this in science. I feel like lunch is where you have to go. Yeah. Hog Rider. Again, very strong. Probably Jim, dude. He's like wielding a hammer. He's like Thor. And he can almost take out an entire tower by himself. Yeah. Minions, I feel like same vibes as Goblin Gang, except like messier, you know? Hunter. Definitely history. Definitely history. Ice Golem. I mean, he's cool and calculated. I mean, if you think about it, you know, math is a very patient subject, and I feel like if you have Ice Golem, right, you gotta, like, wait to play him at the right time. Cool, calm, and calculated math. Ice Spirit, I think for the same reason. Ice Wizard, I think for the same reason. Inferno Dragon. Different vibes than Baby Dragon, I'll tell you that much. Science with the gadgets and everything, you know? The goggles, you know? Knight, I said I was going to put in history for sure. Lunch? I mean, it's definitely not math or science. Gym? I feel like it's lunch, dude. Imagine the lava pups, too, right? Boom. Little Prince. Little Prince would be like too impatient for all this. It would probably be lunch. He wouldn't care about anything else. He's like, get this over with, you know? Lumberjack, definitely giving... He's pretty fast and strong. He would probably kill it in like the mile run. I was gonna put him in history, but yeah, I feel like he would be like the one dude who's like into it at gym class. Magic Archer, I was gonna say. Math, same reason as Executioner. Mega Knight! He's a meathead. He'd be jumping all over the place. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Mighty Miner. I feel like, I don't know what it is about him. I feel like he's also giving me a language vibe. I don't know. I can't put a finger on it, but I just, he's giving me like, I don't know. Anyone else feel like that? Because he seems like he's got the crown on his helmet. He seems like he's part of like the nobles. So he would have to have some... And he's a minor, right? So he's got to have some sort of like foreign policy or like language. I don't know, man. Minor, though, I think... I don't know, he's got the candle on his helmet. I feel like he reads books in bed. He just got, like, he's got like a wood cabin, and he's like very humble, and he has like a candle-lit nightstand, and he reads books. I'm getting those vibes. Minions, still probably. Mirror Mega Minion. It's giving me history vibes. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he like has like knight armor on and he kind of like feels like he's cosplaying. Monk. He's talking about patience with math. Language, probably language. Or history. Or ELA. He could be any of them, really. History or math. You know, I'm actually thinking less math now. Maybe less history, not science. It's either ELA, gym. It's not lunch. I'm gonna say language. Kind of for a similar reason to Mighty Miner. Mother Witch. Science. She's kind of like well, she's a witch, right? She's into like alchemy and stuff. Oh, come on, pancakes, right? We also have Single Musketeer here as well. Night Witch. Definitely giving language vibes too, actually. P.E.K.K.A. I mean, surely it would be like Jim. But she's also into like butterflies, right? And if you follow the obscure Clash Royale lore, technically P.E.K.K.A. is a nature spirit. And romantic poetry is very much involved with nature. I don't know. Because the whole butterfly thing has me feeling like definitely like very gentle. Phoenix comes back from the dead. I don't know about science, maybe history. Because again, like lots of myths and legends about the Phoenix. History, I think, definitely makes the most sense there. Prince, probably also history, unlike his cousin or brother over there. For the same reason as Knight, I think. We have a few left. Princess. I think for the same reason as Little Prince, I feel like they have kind of the similar attitude, right? Like they just can't be bothered with anything else. Ram Rider. Pretty strong. She's got like those like what do you call them? Man, the word's evading me right now. The little stun weapon. Probably math. Math? Unless you want to consider zoology, right? Like she knows how to tame an animal. That's technically a science, I suppose. Rascals, dude, they're also at the lunch table. They're the ones that get in trouble. I mean, that's their name is the Rascals, right? No Brainer Jim. Rocket. We have royal recruits, so this can't learn. The Hogs. Lunch. I mean, come on. Royal recruits. I feel like they'd be into history, right? Same vibes. Rune Giant, probably Jim. Maybe. Gotta be Jim, dude. She's buff. She's like a blacksmith, right? So, skeletons. I mean, I'll put them here because we have normal skeletons. Skeleton dragons. Probably science. probably science. I feel like they're the two, like, they would always be, like, partnering up for assignments and stuff, for, like, labs. Skeleton King is giving me history for sure. You know, I think it's just because he's royal. Skeletons, they can't really eat, right? So, and not Jim, they're pretty scrawny, right? Language, science, math? Maybe? I don't know, man. That's a weird one. Sparky can't participate, really. Spear Goblins, we have the Goblin Gang in there for that reason. These guys are definitely math. I don't know why, but like, they got it figured out. Maybe science, but this feels more like that math logic. I don't know. Tesla. Can't, wait, what am I doing? Can't learn. Tombstone. Tornado. I'm gonna just put everything in here. Void. Expo. Sparky's Mortar. Okay. There we go. Valkyrie. ELA? Either that or history. I don't know. Or Jim. Probably Jim. She'd be like the show off. These guys are giving me... I don't know. These guys are interesting. Math or... I feel like, again, science fits the rest of those like bomber skeleton characters. Witch and wizard. We have Night Witch and language. This witch, however, is more scientifical, in my opinion. And wizard is very obsessed with his hair. Not Jim, maybe science. Or English. I feel like he would be a poet. But like a really pompous one, you know? I think that's all of them. Yeah, well that's the finished result, you guys. Let's check it out. Let's ignore the cannot learn. Lunch. I'm pretty satisfied with those choices. Language, again, I think for sure, I feel like they would enjoy the language courses. Gym and class, I feel like these are all no-brainers, except for maybe Valkyrie and Lumberjack. There we go. Science. Yeah, math. I don't know. I think this makes sense. I've never really done a tier list before, but this feels pretty concise. You'll have to let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this surprise video, and I will see you later.